100 blocks we start going.
I'm getting nervous, man. Oh, son of a bitch!
Yes, because I had to go back and do the fucking task that I...
You were coming up from the
do
trash
because I
can.
found the fucking body last
You went
time.
up from the trash can.
What a fucking loser.
No!
No, it fell down! Fuck! Oh, you
This is what hell is. This is what hell is.
Yes! Oh!
Alright, Jeremy, that's up.
Alright, everybody. Welcome back to my garage. Where, today, we're not really working on a specific car. I'm going through and giving a fleet update because I have done a ton of work because we're getting ready for several things coming up. At the beginning of this video, you'll see I'm doing a pre-show with this game before my big Christmas event at the end of the month here. So, what that means is I need to get a bunch of cars ready in here because some were running, some were not, some were very outdated. So I've been working on getting stuff together. I'm also doing the Christmas special on this game. So, yeah. There's also a bunch of cars there that need to get ready. But not only that, there is going to be a burnout competition that I'm doing on my garage where I'm going to be doing it with a bunch of my vehicles. Thought about doing that in Nick's server, but the event that I'm doing after that I feel like is more fitting, which is a drag and drive. Yes, a My Garage drag and drive. I haven't worked out many of the details for it yet, but it is pretty much exactly how it sounds. You start at the garage, go to the quarter mile, do a pass. You can do as many passes as you want and submit your fastest time. There'll be qualifying and all that too. And then pretty much you have to drive back down this road and drive around the entire continent. The entire continent. I don't know if I'm going to include going down this peninsula. I may. If not, it's just going to include that loop and go back. But pretty much drive all the way around with your drag car and come back to the quarter mile and make another run, and you submit your second run, and the average of your times will be what you win. I'm thinking of doing 2 classes for that. One class being like a 10-second bracket, which I think would be perfect. That's like a very cheap, but not like, you know, crazy amounts of money that you need. And then, of course, an unlimited class. Because, right here, the first vehicle that we're going to showcase, this one goes 6 seconds in the quarter mile. But it's also, as far as I'm aware, the only vehicle on my garage that legitimately does a wheelie. Yeah, it does wheelies. I'll probably insert a clip. But this thing needs a bunch of work still. Plus, I want to make it street legal. And honestly, I was going to do the Barger, another car that we'll get to, and Independence. Independence is also doing the burnout competition. So I think Independence is going to get a little break. And I'm going to run this thing instead of Independence. I don't know what I'm going to run as a 10-second bracket car, but we'll see. But yeah, that'll be an event for Nick's private server. But I'll be live streaming my runs for the pre-show. I think I'm going to be driving the 2 cars, which is probably going to be this and the Impala. But moving on, yeah, this card needs a ton of work. Plus, you've never seen it before, but this is the Death Cart. It's a stripped lad. And it does wheelies. Next up, sitting on the lift, waiting for me to figure out what the fuck I'm doing with it, is a NIV. A NIV truck, specifically. I have struggled to find the right side quarter panel, but I have finally found one for sale. And I think I got this thing at a pretty good deal. It was only like $6,500. So, I don't think that's bad. The beater El Camino, it had a crash while making that building. But, yeah. 318 tunnel ram, nothing special. It's a daily driver pretty much, but it's a really beat up El Camino. And I mean, it's the first Elco that I had in the game too, so I gotta keep it for that reason. Over here in the garage. Yeah, I got all my engine blocks. I have a 632 waiting to go into the Blackbird. That's going to happen soon here. I have a engine out of a car that I sold. This was just a relatively good-looking 5.6 that I decided to hold on to. Then over here is a new vehicle that I have recently bought and have been trying to daily it as much as I possibly can. This is actually a car that Nick built. It's a Ratty 69 Charger with a Hemi. Of course, built to look like a Hemi, but yeah, this was like a cheap budget car that he did. And I really didn't want to buy it because I have the car in the other room, but this thing looks too cool to let go. But yeah, I ended up buying it. But also the building that it's in, this is the extension shop. For anybody who remembers, you'll see in the video with Kermit the Charger. I used to just have like a lean-to shed pretty much, but I have gone ahead and painstakingly built an entire secondary shop that I can store cars in and keep them out of the weather, which I'm very happy about that, even though it doesn't matter. But yeah, this is an entire secondary shop. To be honest, that may become like the storage shop, and this may become the main shop. Not sure about it yet. I'm gonna work on that. Obviously, I'd put a secondary lift in here, and maybe even try to figure out how to put 2 lifts in here, or at least 3 lifts in here, so I could work on more cars at once than only have these in the other one. But yeah, right here I have my General Lee clone. It's a basic Charger. Like, there's really nothing done to it. It's got the vector wheels from Bananas Mod. It's got a 340 in it, which honestly is a pretty stout engine. Like, I'm impressed with the 340. It's a really good engine. Okay. In terms of everything that I currently have out, we have to start to go through the garages, which this is going to cause a massive amount of frame rate loss, because my garage does not like having this many vehicles out at once. So you may have seen vehicles in the background because I am constantly working on other stuff. Think of this as BeamNG Roadkill, but like, I play this more than BeamNG at this rate. Come on. Where is it? I'm also just trying to do this quickly, so this is just a video I can kind of render and get done. Alright, perfect. So in here we have the General Lad. You haven't seen this, and I haven't worked on this yet. It's a 318? Yeah, it's a 318. It's a Lad. I only bought it from the car dealership over there because it came like this. It came painted up like the General Mayhem. So that's why it is called General Lad. Over here we have the Off-Road Challenger. You'll see this in the coming up Christmas special. Again, it's a basic 318. Honestly, I want to put a 360 in this because that's what the real ORC has, minus the hater pipes. But yeah, here's the other car that is going to do the Dragon Drive, which is the 58 Impala that Nick has made. This car I built with a challenge to make a 1,000 horsepower 318. And I have made an 1,100 horsepower 318. So there you go. That's what the Impala is doing. Here's another car that I rescued really early on from the junkyard, and I only did it because, well, I thought it would be funny to rescue a completely totaled car. What does this have in it again? It has a 325 in it. Not sure why I decided a 325, but it's a simple low power car. Maybe one day I'll put an interior in it as memes. Can it even... I'd say it could get an interior in it. Maybe fix the floors. I don't know. Here's another car that I just kind of bought from the junkyard. I bought this to do pizza missions, but never have. It has a turbocharged 4-cylinder. I forget what this came out of. I think this was originally in my pink F100 that I got rid of. But yeah, it's a turbocharged, I think 2-liter actually. Yeah, it's a 2-liter inline 4. Yeah. Over here we have German Neighbor. And this is only built for one purpose that you would think it would have. It's a burnout car. So you'll see this in the burnout contest coming up. Currently it has a 373 in it. It's got 3.2 differential. Huh, I thought I put something lower. But yeah, I've rebuilt the rear end of this car like 3 times now, but this is the first time that I decided to decal it up like Neighbor from the Cletus McFarlane YouTube channel. How I got the decals? Kind of stole them from a BeamNG mod. So whoever made that YouTuber car mods thing, or YouTuber car skins thing on the BeamNG forums, that's where this came from. I managed to convert the file for it and Photoshop them and put them in the game. Over here is a disappointment of a lad that I wanted, or well, that I tried to build. Nick built one that looked really cool. I wanted to do the same thing and then challenge him to a race, but basically make fun of him because I think his car has a bigger engine, so try to beat him with 318. His car still makes significantly more power than me, so this engine did not make the power numbers that I wanted, so I just kind of shoved it in storage and forgot about it. Here is my rally car, which needs new wheels because they broke with the recent My Details update. But again, I think this is just a super built 2-liter. I haven't done a rally with this engine setup yet, I think, but I plan to. There'll probably be an episode on this one day because I haven't completed all the rallies. Here's my old daily. This is a lad that originally had big tires and a bunch of crazy stuff on it, but I converted it back to what it used to be because I didn't like the big tires. So you'll see this in the shootout coming up. Over here is another Nick car. I really feel like I'm Nick's Mechanics because I buy whatever junk he gets rid of that has a lot of problems. This car isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I bought this to be a prize car until I realized, or at least realized, how bad the quarters are after him doing burnouts in this thing. And I'm not going to make it a prize car anymore. This is just going to be another burnout car that I have because the rear end is too far gone, and I don't want to cut the car up because of the patina, so I'm just going to do burnouts with it until either A, I can convince Nick to do new quarter panels on this, or figure out a way to replicate these quarters, because I've been trying to find dirt decals to hopefully start to replicate this shit so I can keep cars like this alive and not have to try and hold on to them. That does it for this garage. God, we're 13 minutes into this and I still have 3 garages to go through. I have a lot of junk. Too much junk in this game. But I think the surprising fact of it all is I think everything but one car runs. So I'm impressed with those numbers. Come on, there we go. So garage number 2. Trying to think what other cars I had in here. Or if there's any just like floating around somewhere that I have forgotten about. Which I don't think so. If the box truck is in here, then yeah, there's nothing floating around. Honestly, I should probably make a list of what cars where, because I don't remember. Oh, the ramp truck is in here. Okay, yeah, there's a decent amount of vehicles in here. So the ramp truck, already, if you're a Roadkill fan, you know, there's a replica of the Roadkill ramp truck, just Ford instead of Chevy. It's got a diesel in it. I'm pretty sure I built this one from scratch, so it's a decent engine. It's got injectors, a performance pump, a turbo, that's about it. It's a basic diesel. Over here, the Scrap Bird. Which, yeah, you may see, it has glass now. It has an interior, no floor still, but I worked on the car because it's going to be in the shootout that's coming up. And I finally lowered the car and got it to sit right. The front is good. I think the rear needs a little bit more of a spacer. But other than that, this car is perfect. But this was from the Firebirds episode. It's got a 350 that Nick built for me because I just felt it was fitting for the first Firebird that I built. Had a Nick engine since he made the mod. Here is my Vanishing Paint, which is, it's supposed to be like a nice version of Vanishing Paint, at least nicer. But this car, it needs a ton of work. I think this is another 318 car. I've worked on it though. But yeah, there'll be an episode coming up on this one. Here's a Niv. This was originally going to be the truck, and I kind of rush built this and made sure to tell myself that it had no coolant. And it doesn't, so this motor will probably come out and go in that Niv. I'm going to need to change the intake. Right here is the Independence, and like some of the cars that I've been working on, the Independence got a full interior. Yeah, so it looks nicer now. I don't have to look at the ugly gray door panels. Other than that, it's got a red, white, and blue supercharger now. So, Independence, I would say, is completely mint. General Mayhem, it's waiting on me to pull the trigger and actually working on the car and tearing it apart. I may just send it to... I don't know. I don't know the plan. I don't know the plan yet. Wow. This thing is fucking low. I don't remember it being this low. Well, this is the Barger. You've all seen the Barger. This is my inline 6 drag car. And, yeah. That's really it. I haven't worked on it. It's sat ever since the episode that I did with it. Here's this disappointment. You're going to see this get destroyed very soon. Because, I fucking hate this car. I love Impalas, but with how bad this thing handles, it's just not worth it. Over here is my 50... with the Bel Air, pretty much. I made it to look like Blasphemy, just never did the roof. I lost motivation in this car, unfortunately. So... yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I may just dump the chassis and get a perfectly good 380 back. I'm not sure. Alright, 20 minutes. Goal is 30 minutes. The next two garages don't have as much in them, so should be good. Come on, save faster. Yeah, this should be a lot quicker. No clue why the lights are on. No clue why all their lights are on, but they're on. Here's the box truck that I got burned on. I bought this to finish building that because I broke the El Camino during that time and let it sit until I wanted to fix it. And I got burned in this truck. This engine had a ton of problems, and it's gonna get a different engine. I don't know what I'm gonna do for it yet, but might build a 350 for it. I might build a 340 for it, make like a 340 Ford. No idea. Over here's another burnout car that you're gonna see. Kind of built this for shits and giggles. This is the engine that you saw in the Charger that helped form Kermit the Charger into the beat-up body that it's in. But I rebuilt it finally, so it's no longer running off of 4 cylinders. But yeah, it's still a junky V8 that came out of a German neighbor when I bought it. Here's the Mad Lad. This is my Mad Max car. I worked on this recently and finally brought it to its, at least the point that it's in now. So this thing's all nice and fixed up. You all know what this is from. This is the test car that we were doing the intake shootout on. No longer has the fuel injection intake. It just has a, I think, a standard carb. It's a standard 5.6 with headers. Well, stock headers. It's not much special at the moment, but I have plans for this car because I think this car is doing the burnout contest too. So this will be getting a rebuild. The drift car. Yeah, this was a drift car. I think again, I had a 318 laying around. Wanted to put it in something because I just have too many engines sitting around. So I threw it in here, and this is a drift car. It actually drifts pretty good, but it needs a little more power. The Blackbird. We got plans for this thing. A lot of cool plans. Fortunately, it is not. Yeah, it's not coming out for the shootout, but I have plans for this thing after seeing on Roadworthy Rescues the car that they built. I'm going to do some cool stuff with this thing, and it's going to get that 632 that I ended up getting. So that is that garage. And only one more. This is the garage with all the Chargers. Because I have a Charger issue. Be really OCD of me to organize my garages by car. So I have one with the Challengers, one with the F100s. That'd be fucking ridiculous. And then I think past that, that is all the cars I currently own. I don't own much else. Think, at least, not aware of it. Okay, so to go through these quickly, is this 1 or 2? Yep, here's my first Dart replica Charger. I think it's got a 340. I put a tunnel ram on it because I had it sitting around. It's a basic 340, nothing special to it. Probably going to get some power upgrades one day. Here is the prize car for the yeah, this is going to be one of the prize cars, I think, for the Dragon Drive. Which this is the exact same car, but instead it has a slightly more performance-oriented 380. So you'll see that soon. This is going to get turned into a Dart. I got given this car for free, so yeah. And here's Kermit. Still here. Still waiting to get its valve cover done. And with not a single straight body panel on it. And then here's just a random Charger that I got. Pretty much, that is it. That is the entire fleet on my garage. I have a lot of junk on this game. possibly need to sell some of it. I already have been. There's a couple cars that I have decided to sell. I guess to list off a few after the events coming up this month, probably after the Burnout competition. The wagon's probably going to be for sale once I paint that and redo the engine. The El Camino's probably going to be for sale. I'm probably going to get rid of a ton of parts. You may see these on the test server. They may only be on Nick's server. I'm not sure. Usually I try to give Nick's server a more fair deal first before that. This Hemi's staying. I'd have that Hemi as an emergency. But yeah, like, I don't need this blower. I don't need the blower intake. I don't need the velocity stacks. I had a shitload of tires minus the burners, but like these, that I'll probably get rid of. There's a ton of parts. There's that intake that I still have sitting around, the scoop for the tunnel ram. I have a couple of these signs that I'm probably going to get rid of, and in the external shop here. Like, I have a bunch of NIV truck parts, which I'm probably going to hold on to these in case I ever damage that one. So, these you probably won't see for sale. I'll probably get rid of the Impala hood. The Bel Air hood I don't need, so yeah. This is for German neighbor in case I ever wreck the front end. And honestly, like, I'll probably be willing to get rid of some of these junkyard blocks that I have sitting around. What, I got a 273, 318. I don't want to get rid of the 318s, but I got a lot of them. I may dump this engine too. It may go in something. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think it's like a 900 horsepower 380. But I may keep it because it's a 380 block, and German neighbor would really like a 380 again. Yeah, turn the light off. But yeah, that is the entire fleet. I guess really quick, just to show, because I have built a burnout pit for the upcoming festivities of Christmas. Yeah, as you can see over here, I have built a burnout pad for the event coming up. It is tight. It is going to be technical. I may extend the wall here out to be a little longer because I want to do a jump entry with one of the cars into the burnout pit, I think for fun. But yeah, I've made a lot of stuff between the Kermit episode and now. I mean, that Kermit episode, I filmed that at like the end of October, so this is like progress over the course of November. So, yeah. But hopefully you have enjoyed. If there's something here that you've seen that you may have like an idea on what I could do with it, please let me know. Like, I'd really love to sit down and work on some of these cars and like actually get them right, but I do like making videos in this game. It's been fun. Definitely need to do more with the death cart, which I'm excited to be running that for the Dragon Drive. It's just I need to figure out how to tow a trailer because there's nothing to put the hitch on. I hope it attaches still. Alright, I'm going to get back to work. But stay tuned, December 29th, 300 lap Crown Vic race, My Garage Burnout competition, My Garage Dragon Drive event. And then December 30th, a whole slew of games that we're going to be playing, including BeamNG Roadkill Live with a Burnout competition and a drag bracket. And tons of other games. Hopefully you have enjoyed though. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.